Most of the products that we have in our industry, they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So for us, innovation would be whether you're taking some material out of a product and making it significantly less weight, therefore more cost effective, or really just a different way to use some of the products. It's almost like people take for granted that you have to put this fitting on the end of the hose and then the fluid will come out. Well, can we think about, maybe it's not a fitting, or maybe it's a fitting that, instead of putting something that looks like a mouse, it's something that looks like an elephant, or vice versa. The paradigm that people have is, when you're conveying water out of this hose, you have to use this fitting. We want people to think differently about it. We want to find something that's going to be perhaps easier to use, perhaps less risk, therefore it's safer, something that perhaps costs half of what they pay today, and therefore we can be more competitive with the imports. So those are the type of things, when we think about innovation, those are the type of things that we're looking to, the solutions that we're trying to offer, or problems we're trying to solve. The payoff for an investment like this, it's a longer term payoff. It's not something you're going to see in just a couple of years. So really we're looking at this in the 5-year category, because it takes quite a bit of time to get the ideas going. Once you get the ideas, you got to get some drawings, you got to get some prototypes, you got to get some field tests. So the life cycle of a true new product, a new innovation, that could be 18 to 24 months before you get your first sale. Some shorter, some longer. And so for us, the payoff is in more of the 5-year range before we really start to see a positive cash flow on the investment that we've made.
Actually, we have about 4 different hurdles that an idea has to go through before it's approved for development. Mm-hmm. So it has to make economic sense. It has to be feasible. It has to be something that we can fund, and it has to be something that we see the future in order to make it through all those hurdles. So once we've proven that it can do all 4 of those things, whatever the hurdles are, then we release it for development. But what I've challenged my folks here is not just to take the idea and make that. It's to take that idea and to try to make it, and this is sort of a buzzword in the industry, meaningfully unique. We don't want to make something that somebody else can make just as easily as we can. We want to make something that has something unique about it that is going to be more meaningful in the marketplace and have longer legs to its life. Okay, so I think we've proven in our short time of 1.5 or 18 months old, we've proven that we can take some pretty worn ideas and make them new again. And we have there's a simple example right here.
Yeah.
One of my guys said, well, I think I have an idea that we could make this work in a more safe manner, that if there was pressure inside the coupling, whether it was a fluid or a gas, it wouldn't catastrophically eject. It would eject into a safe position. So he machined some grooves in this adapter. We've added some magic inside the coupler, and now when you put this thing together and you compress the cam loops, if you were to release it, the adapter won't eject until you twist it to a certain position. So it's purely safety. It's taking probably a 90-year-old idea on how these things go together and making it brand new. Now this also represents a little bit of another advance, and this gets to 3D printing. In addition to our complete machine shop that we have on the other side of the wall, we have an amazing 3D printer that has revolutionized our process of 18 months old. We've even revolutionized what we started with. So we've been able to compress, and this is true for sand casting as well, we've been able to compress the time frame that it takes to get investment cast parts, and particularly prototype parts, from a 12-week time frame down to about two weeks. Wow. So we've been able to greatly compress the time frame. And this part is a product of that. We were able to greatly reduce the time frame to produce prototypes. Continuously challenge my guys with is, if we're doing this today, just think what we can do 6 months from now or a year from now. No idea we have is silly any longer. It's all within our grasp. Metrics, I sort of break out into particular product metrics. They're easy to measure. We can come up with this idea, we can measure how long it took us to do it, we can measure how many dollars we put into the tooling and what it's going to take us to get to market with it. We can then measure how many we sell over a period of time, and we can come out with a return on investment, a hard number. The soft metrics, I think, are just as important as the hard metrics, though. And the soft metric is, are we changing the image of Dixon in the marketplace? Are we becoming the leader in innovation that we're seeking to become? We're already a leader in service, in customer service, product delivery. We stock an incredible amount of product in our warehouses. So we're already considered a leader in that role. Part of our challenge in the Innovation Center is to get us to be perceived as a leader in innovation and product development. I don't think anybody has the team that we've assembled here, to be honest with you. I think that we have the ability to think a little bit differently and to think outside the box. And that I see as one of my roles, is to continuously inject new ideas, and not necessarily anything related to fluid couplings or hydraulic couplings or couplings at all. We're looking at, and the 3D printer has really sort of opened up everybody's mind as to saying, wow, if we can do this, then literally we can do anything. This is today's technology. We're already thinking about what are we going to replace this with. And we've already solved that problem. So we're even thinking about the next step. And that's what I see our role as, is continuously challenging us to, there's going to be some new product at some point introduced by somebody. So I want that to be us. There's lots of evidence that says the more you know, the less you think you can do. We don't know the things that we can't do, so we're just going to go ahead and do them.